we're not doing the regular intro. We're not doing any of that. I'm not in the mood to do any of that. I will say subscribe to the Patreon so you could get the film breakdowns of everything that we're doing, that Notre Dame's doing wrong. You could get all the film breakdowns you want, promo code Irish. So that's all I'm going to say. Stay tuned. Goolsby and I are going to come on my YouTube channel Sunday night and break down this game public, not behind the paywall, on my YouTube channel. Stay tuned for that as well. So that's the only intro I have. I'm not in the mood to do my goofy voices. I'm not in the mood to do any of it. So I just got done with the 2.5 hour, just absolutely excruciatingly miserable post-game call-in show. And you know how you know it's really bad? When people aren't even really yelling anymore. They're so downtrodden and hurt that they're not even yelling. Their soul is so beaten down that most of the people calling weren't even yelling like they were after Miami or whatever. They're so hurt. It's beyond yelling. And you could hear it in their voices. And I'm going to say this again before we get into this nightmare. When Notre Dame wins, there's nothing more fun than those post-game shows where we all celebrate together and everybody's in a good mood. Those are fun, but I think when we lose, it's more important that we gather and do this kind of stuff. To commiserate, the therapy session, just venting, whatever it is. And I have an obligation. If I want to be there for the fun stuff, I got to sit there for 2.5 hours and listen to everybody be miserable and get dunked on by the trolls 24/7. This is the game, man. This is the game. So this is tough. So let's get into this. This is beyond the worst case scenario I could have imagined for Notre Dame after 2 games. I guess you could argue maybe it would be worse if like CJ Carr shredded his ACL against Miami and you lost a whole year of that guy. So you could make that argument and it messes everything up. But there was definitely a way I could see Notre Dame starting out 0-2. Like I could see that in my mind in the summer of what could go wrong. I really didn't think it'd be this. I thought it was going to be, you play pretty good defense, O-line's decent enough, but the young quarterback's making rookie mistakes that you just can't get away from against good teams. My roadmap to Notre Dame starting 0-2, looking at it from summer, was the rookie quarterback making a lot of big mistakes that he'll grow from. I didn't consider and think that the main problems would be your entire defense is worthless and your O-line is not good. That's an existential problem. The quarterback young making mistakes or whatever, that is something that is temporary. You could grow from. It's one kid. When your entire defense is nowhere near good enough and your O-line's not good enough, I don't know where you go from there. That's the problem I'm having right now. It isn't just 0-2. It's how you arrived at 0-2. And even if it's 4 points, you've lost these 2 games. Even if you had snuck them out and were 2-0, we would still have had to have some serious conversations about parts of this team that are not good. You would feel better about it at 2-0, and you have Purdue. You hope you could get to 3-0. But if you were being honest, even if we stuck these games out, there are red flags everywhere. So my biggest problem here is an existential one, that the foundational pieces of this program are failing and regressing. The entire defense and the O-line. And the O-line was, better than they were against Miami or whatever, but like the short yardage stuff blown up, nobody even blocking guys. It's still not great, but it isn't good enough. And it isn't, here's the other part. When you have this complete regression in the O-line play and the entire defense, you're putting the weight of the world on CJ Carr to be a hero, to save every game or whatever. And that is unfair to put on that kid. Man, I really thought the path to success for Notre Dame this year was the good defense and the good O-line play carrying Carr along his developmental journey. That was the only real roadmap to success. You can't expect Carr to be a hero and a wizard in his first and second game and save the day. You're putting way too much on the kid. So it's really bad. This is a nightmare. It is beyond my worst fears, even at 0-2, the way you got there, or beyond my worst nightmare. You don't. Notre Dame is just like floating through the ocean right now. You have no identity. You don't know who you are or what you do. You're not a defensive team. You're not a power O-line driven team. So, like, you have no idea who you are, what you are, other than 0-2. And everybody's to blame. The players are to blame. The coaches are to blame. Like, there are probably 8 legitimate plays between Miami and A&M Notre Dame players could have made to make these wins and not losses, and we didn't make them. Dropped interceptions. Balls that could. None of it is anywhere near good enough, and I don't know the way out, because if you're going to play defense like this, you could lose to anybody on the schedule. If you're going to play defense like this and Carr's got to lead touchdown drives every time he gets the ball for you to win, you could lose to anybody on the schedule. It's the worst part of it all by far is the Notre Dame defense. The foundational bedrock of the program that you've been so proud of and has been building up and been physical and been tough and been good, kept the score down. Not giving up big chunk plays, playing good pass defense, like all this stuff. You don't do any of it. You don't do any of it. I had on my bingo card from summer, wait and see with the Chris Ash defense. I've waited, I've seen enough. I don't know what you do here. It is BVG 2.0. There's so many overlapping things. Not being able to stop anybody, giving up everything through the air that anybody wants at all time, not making plays, just whatever. But it's also, he carries himself like BVG. When I look on the sideline and he's looking all freaked out and wigged out, and like you could see in his eyes, he doesn't have the answers. It reminds me a lot of BVG. It's a bad place to be. It's a bad place. I mean, it's like, oh, you lost by 1. You could have won that game or whatever. Even if you did, when Notre Dame is in a good place as a program, they don't win games like this. It's lower scoring, good defense, run the ball, control the, like, that's when Notre Dame's in their sweet spot. I don't know what you do, but Chris Ash, this has a bunch of people on the call-in show want him fired. I just don't think it's realistic. You're not going to do that, embarrass the guy after 2 weeks, whatever. I don't think that's realistic. You could say it's warranted. I just don't think it's realistic that it would happen. The most you might get is Freeman assuming control of the defense behind the scenes, but it's behind the scenes because he doesn't want to show up that guy and embarrass him because Freeman's that kind of guy, not like a respectful guy. But this cannot be. The scheme is not working or effective, and the players are not effective in it or making plays. It's not just one thing or the other. They don't make plays, and the scheme just seems ineffective. It's a 5-alarm fire. I mean, there's no easy way out. You can't expect to beat anyone when you play defense in this fashion. It's unbelievable. And how do guys that were ascending, playing good last year, totally regress and look incapable of playing winning football now? Nobody has a good answer to that. How do players that seem like they were trending up last year get worse this year? Did everybody think we finished second? That's good enough. Now I could coast on my NIL money? Is the staff not doing the right things? Like, I'm honestly trying to figure out the answer, because This doesn't look like Notre Dame football that we've come to know recently. You earned this loss. Some goofy things happened that made you lose it in a weird way that is so on brand Notre Dame misery that it makes you sick. How many of these can you have? Just, I mean, from the Bush push and Marcus 11, 10 man and NIU and Miami and this it never ends. It's always something. And so it is the worst case scenario. These are dark times. I don't know what the fixes are when the foundational pieces aren't playing winning football. I don't know what you do about that. I really don't. I don't have a good answer. Maybe you just hope Purdue doesn't have as many dudes as Miami and A&M and you could get a win and feel better about yourself. But even if you beat Purdue by a couple scores, I don't care. You have huge problems and you're not good. I don't care. Beat Purdue by as much as you want. Or they could beat you if you play this defense. I don't know. But if you beat them, I ain't going to feel any better. You already showed me what you are against good teams. Bad. Not worthy of winning. And it's so, man, you got off to a good start. You blocked a punt. You got to think about it. You got off the field on your first defensive series, blocked a punt, and scored a touchdown and had the lead without your new quarterback having to do anything. And you let that go. You blew it. You didn't take advantage of it. Who do you blame and how do you fix it? Who do you blame and how do you fix it? Chris Ash. Okay, we went over the fix. There's really not an easy one. And even if you totally retooled the scheme or whatever, these guys are just not making a lot of plays. I think Rodney, one of the later callers, said, why does our defense look slower now? I thought we were getting better athletes. Is there something about the scheme that makes them seem like they're playing in slow motion? Especially on the back layer of the defense? But this is existential when your entire defense and O-line are not good enough. And I don't think either are. Like playoff game winning level, neither one of them are. And we went into this year, and the big talking point for me was, this is important to show you have CFP staying power, to show you could lose those upperclassmen guys and reload and not rebuild and be right back in the playoff. God bless people in the chat that were like, you could still win the other 10 games. None of them are as tough as these two or whatever. Like, bro, if you're playing defense like this, you don't win 10 games in a row. You're not going to win 10 games in a row playing this defense. It's just not going to happen. It ain't going to happen. So and the other part is, think about the recruiting angle of this. You had all those people here for the big game, whatever, bro. What good defensive player being recruited by every top team in the country looks at the defense Notre Dame puts on the field right now and says, yeah, I can't wait to go play in that. Can't wait to be a key piece of that. What good player being sought after by every top program is going to want to play in the Notre Dame defense looking at it the way it's currently constructed and operating? So now I think you're going to end up with a recruiting problem. If I'm Mike Elko, I'm telling them guys there on the way out, why don't you come talk to us? Everything's on the table now. You lost all your credibility you gained from last year's run. It's fair to question Freeman. Ultimately, it all stops at his desk. The Ash hire, everything else. It is fair to question every single part of all this from now on. This is unacceptable. You are regressing badly in key areas. None of it's good enough. None of it's even close to good enough. I got the stats up. 360 yards passing for Texas A&M. That's like 3 games of passing opponents on us in the last couple years combined. Like, I just can't. It's so bad you can't wrap your mind around it. It felt like BVG Texas. a boat race up and down the field. Nobody plays defense. It's an abomination to the sport of football, and you just hope you win it and move on. 360 yards passing it's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. And so, I don't know, you guys. I don't know where you go, what you do from here. You could very well beat Purdue or whatever, but that's not going to make me feel any better about any of this. Your 2 games to showcase what you were going to be against real talent were these 2 games, and you showed me what you are. And it's not like random bad stuff. You lost the game. You're just straight up bad on defense. Like, it's not like you can isolate these couple things that lost us these games. You're just not good. You don't get enough pressure. You just, there's nothing on the back end. Everyone's open whenever anybody throws. I just can't. You know what it feels like? You ever have little magnets, and if you turn them upside down, you feel the resistance, how they kind of bounce off each other away? That's what it feels like our defenders have it to anybody that's going out for a pass. Wherever they're at, there's a shield there, and we bounce off them, and they're wide open. I've never seen anything like it lately. Oh, I've definitely seen things like it in my Notre Dame life, for sure. Not lately. This is unbelievable how bad this is. Existential. When you're Notre Dame and you're no longer good on defense or O-line, that's an existential red flag. And the shame in it all is, all of that is going to retard the progress of your young quarterback. The very best thing you could do for him to continue getting better is play good defense and have good O-line play. And so it's just going to be a really rough year for that guy because you're not getting any support. And let's be clear, he wasn't perfect. He made like some rookie dumb mistakes here in this game or whatever, but he's getting no help. And he can't do it all. Even if he was an upperclassman, I'd say you can't put it all on the quarterback. He can't do it all. You're not helping the kid at all. So I don't know where you go from here. But it is beyond my worst case scenario. 0-2, I could see paths. None of them included being this bad in the key areas that have made the team and program successful. You have real issues. You have real problems, real red flags. I don't know how you dig out of this. It is on everyone. The players are not failing. The players are failing. The coaches are failing. You have lost all the credibility in 2 quick games over 3 weeks. You have lost all the national credibility. You fought 25, 30 years to build that you got through that playoff run. You have thrown it all away. Notre Dame is a laughing stock again. You're a joke again. It's so upsetting. When you love something so much and you look so forward to it and you think about it every day, and when it actually arrives, it makes you sick and makes you not have fun and you're miserable. You got real issues. So, that's all I got for you guys now, man. Going to be a long night. I'm going to go write articles about how miserable we all are. Let me know what you guys think, and then stay tuned for the YouTube live show, Goolsby and Ide, and then obviously everything we have on Patreon. Now more than ever, it's more important to break down that film and see what can be done about this. Promo code Irish. We'll see you over there.